got it on smash, foot on the gas, I will not crash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash. They slept on the team, now they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. It's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey, or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call us up making a name. I put on the Jets, the coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take all poof, magic.
Coach, thank you. We have playoff football and bone-chilling playoff football at that in the city of brotherly love at Lincoln Financial Field. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles. The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Set! 180! Mike, 47! Let's go, defense! Let's go, defense! Here we go! Check, check, check!
Now a run with Anderson. And that's not the start that he was looking for as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And he is finally taken down, but not before he gets it to the Eagles' 24.
First down, Detroit.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On second down, Anderson. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
Check, 250! Watch the run, watch the run!
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. Not the touchdown they wanted, but hey, you're on the road in the playoffs. They did get 3 on the board.
Yeah, it's a good opening drive, so you feel good about it yourself. You get to the sidelines. The defense feels good about you helping them right out of the gate. The team, yeah, they feel pretty good about coming in the playoffs and getting points on the board right away.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a first and 10 at their own 26. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This is Howard on second down. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get.
Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school, he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
They go play action here on first down. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Fletcher Cox breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Let's get off the field. Watch twins. Watch twins.
On the toss, here's Johnson. Trying to find some space to turn upfield, but this defense having none of it. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
Now Stafford. Flush to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Fletcher Cox able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They trail here early in this division round game as they seek a spot in the NFC title bout. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Come on.
On second down now, it's Howard. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. And he will finally be wrestled down at the Lions' 10-yard line. Obviously, so much on the line here, everything on the line this season. So important to get off to a hot start. That run certainly helps.
Definitely provided it. Nothing different than what they've seen all year long. They want to continue to ride that momentum.
Mike 40, Mike 40. Exit. Hey, Charlie. Yeah, check it.
Wentz now on first down. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Trey Flowers, what a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
And on 1st and goal, they decided to throw for it, but the coverage was excellent. And he kept holding the ball, hoping someone would shake free. Instead, he's hit and drop. And now, they're not even in the red zone anymore.
He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
17, guys. Check him out.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Stafford. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, Johnson fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, Stafford under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this 1st quarter. Derek Barnett coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Sproles, the return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's Wentz to throw. And this is caught by Jackson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Wentz. Gonna throw deep for the end zone. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Dallas Goedert there to make the grab. And the Eagles have taken the lead. A post to the tight end for 6. Gosh, those guys are so tough to cover, aren't they? Just in general, tight ends running those patterns near the goal line.
Because you have to decide how you want to treat them. Are they a wide receiver? Are they a big extra blocker on the field? Or are they a hybrid and caught in between? So are you going to use a linebacker? Are you going to use a safety? Are you going to even move a corner in if you're going to play nickel or dime defense? They usually win those matchups because they have an answer for all 3 of those positions.
Let's go! Let's go!
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3-point seeding.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
54.
To throw on 3rd down. Stafford. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. 22 yards there, a 1st down. I love that play, because in the snow you think run, run, run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control, break down, and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost impossible.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Throwing again. Stafford. And it's caught here. Amendola. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Stafford looks to throw again. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. 20, 10, for touchdown, Philadelphia. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
We own them. Watch the eye.
Now a play fake it at Stafford. Eluding the pressure. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Derek Barnett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. To throw is Stafford. And Amendola with a catch. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 22. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Stafford on 1st down. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 3rd down, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Fletcher Cox able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. 2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Wentz now to throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Go. 180. Pick up the ball. 57.
Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Aguilar has it. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. A big play there just before halftime. 43 yards. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Open man is Arcega-Whiteside. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
14 more yards.
Wentz going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. To throw is Wentz. This is caught. And he's brought down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jordan Howard, as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down at about the 15. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just...
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. The 20, 10, 5. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. It's a big-time run by Jordan Howard. 66 yards for him on the ground. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Working from the gun, Wentz. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Buyer beware. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
To throw on third down, Stafford. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Sam Martin now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Here's a handoff to Sproles to start the drive. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 24, Wentz. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there for Philly. 44 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They go counter with Howard. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another first down run right there.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. But it's going to be 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Trying the right side with Howard. 12 yards there and a first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. Howard all alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal.
Let's go. Check it out.
Sunday.
He'll get it up the middle. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Jordan Howard, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to pour it on.
Probably the week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season. Got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him, and he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main cog.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Again, it's Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a first down and more. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Detroit. Ty Johnson, 74 yards. And it's for pride now, but the Lions do get a bit closer. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. The last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The road to be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now Howard. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on first down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
Hey, empty. Kill.
Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. And Jeffrey's got it. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And the run of the jet sweep. This is Jeffrey. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 36-yard line.
Running with Howard. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. That's caught by Howard. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in this spot, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The Lions on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Hey, wahoo!
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
The Lions on 3rd down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 6.
Check 50. Right there. Right there. Alert! Guys, it's game situation. Let's go. Hey, seam 6. Mike's by 4. You don't want this. Hey, watch that.
From his own goal line, Stafford. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. On 1st down, they run with Howard. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Again, it's Howard. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, Palmer. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage.
Who's that? Hey, Haywood!
Throwing on 3rd down. Stafford. It's caught. Jones. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a 1st.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 40. They will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone from the
and he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Elliott now to add the extra point. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded at the goal line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They go to Johnson again. And a lot of talent on this Eagle defense, and you've seen it on these last 2 plays, both losses. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
3 buzz. Let's go. Hey, we got
back to throw, Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit. Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here comes Amendola. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
Be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Now a first down throw. Stafford. He's going to let it. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.